At the heart of consistency is discipline. Discipline is what allows you to maintain focus, to keep moving forward even when you don't see instant results. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well or when progress is clear, but the real test of your commitment comes when things get tough. That's when consistency truly matters. It's when you're facing setbacks, doubts, and frustrations that your discipline will determine whether you succeed or not. Discipline shapes your mindset by teaching you the value of patience and persistence. In our world of instant gratification, it's easy to get impatient when things don't happen quickly. We want results now, and we want them without much effort. But the reality is that most great achievements, when you discipline your mind to stay focused on the process rather than the outcome, you build a mindset that is resilient, committed, and determined to succeed. When you make consistency a habit, you start to see the world differently. Your mindset shifts from a focus on quick results to a focus on the process. You begin to understand that success isn't something that happens overnight. It's the result of countless small actions taken with purpose and intention. Every day that you show up and do the work, you are shaping your future. Every small decision you make adds up. And over time, you create a life that reflects the effort you've put in. It's also important to recognize that consistency is not about perfection. Life will always throw curveballs, and you won't always be able to execute perfectly. But discipline helps you understand that it's not about doing everything flawlessly. It's about doing the work even when it's difficult. Consistency is about being reliable, being steadfast, and showing up even when the conditions aren't ideal. The key is to keep going, to keep pushing, and to stay focused on the bigger picture. Small, imperfect steps are far more powerful than perfect inaction. As you continue to practice consistency, you'll notice that your mindset begins to change. You'll stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start viewing them as opportunities to grow. Challenges no longer seem insurmountable, they become part of the process of moving forward. Consistency teaches you that setbacks aren't failures, they're just part of the journey. With discipline and consistency, you learn to bounce back stronger every time you face a challenge. Finally, consistency helps you stay aligned with your goals. Life can be full of distractions, and it's easy to get sidetracked by the latest trend, the newest opportunity, or the allure of instant gratification. But discipline and consistency keep you grounded in your vision. They remind you that true success comes from sticking to your path, staying focused on your goals, and taking steady action day after day. So, if you want to shape your mindset for success, commit to the power of consistency. It's the simple, daily actions that will ultimately lead to extraordinary results. Consistency, fueled by discipline, turns ordinary efforts into extraordinary achievements. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters consistently and with purpose. And when you build this kind of mindset, success becomes inevitable. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. When you show up every day, no matter how small the task, you prove to yourself that you are reliable. You learn to trust your ability to follow through, to make progress, even when the going gets tough. And this self-trust becomes the foundation of a strong, confident mindset. When you consistently take action, you reinforce your belief in your ability to achieve your goals, no matter how big or small they may be. Another important aspect of consistency is that it eliminates the need for motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you wake up full of energy and drive, ready to take on the world. Other days it feels like a struggle just to get started. But when you rely on consistency and discipline, motivation becomes secondary. You don't wait for the perfect moment or for the right feeling to do the work. You do the work because it's what you've committed to. And that commitment is more powerful than fleeting bursts of motivation. Discipline is the foundation of success, but it's more than just a word or a concept we throw around. It's a process. Something we must teach ourselves in our minds every single day. You see, discipline isn't about force. It's about understanding and aligning with your goals. It's about explaining to your brain why certain actions, even if uncomfortable at first, are essential for growth. Our brains are powerful, but they need guidance. They need to be trained to focus, to stay on track, and to recognize that short-term discomfort is a small price to pay for long-term achievement. Once you teach your brain the language of discipline, it begins to work for you, turning habits into second nature and making success inevitable. Discipline is not something you force, but something you cultivate. One small intentional step at a time. The 5 headings on discipline is explained to your brain as 1, understanding discipline, rewiring your brain for success. 2, the power of consistency, how discipline shapes your mindset. 3, training your brain, the link between discipline and focus. 4, discipline as a habit, programming your brain for achievement. 5, overcoming resistance, turning discipline into a natural instinct. Explanation of heading 1 is, in life we often look for the shortcut to success, the magic formula, or the easy way to achieve our dreams. But the truth is, success doesn't come from shortcuts. It comes from discipline, the ability to stay focused, take consistent action, and align your behaviors with your long-term goals. If you want to change the course of your life, you have to first understand discipline and the role it plays in rewiring your brain for success. When you start thinking about discipline, don't see it as a rigid, restrictive force that keeps you from enjoying life. See it as a powerful tool that helps you achieve more than you ever thought possible. Think of it as the process of reprogramming your mind to work in your favor, to think like someone who is successful, driven, and focused on achieving their dreams. Your mind is like a muscle. If you train it, it becomes stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws at you. Rewiring your brain for success means understanding that your thoughts and actions are interconnected. If you want to change your reality, you must first change your thinking. Our brains are wired to seek comfort, to follow the path of least resistance, and to repeat patterns that feel familiar. This is why so many people struggle to break free from bad habits or reach their full potential. But the key to rewiring your brain lies in repetition and consistency. Every time you choose the disciplined path, even when it's difficult, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain. Over time, these new pathways become stronger, and the behaviors you once struggled with will start to feel more natural. The first step in rewiring your brain for success is to identify your goals and create a clear vision of the life you want to live. Without a clear direction, discipline becomes aimless, and it's easy to fall off track. When you have a vision, every action you take, no matter how small, becomes a building block toward that vision. Explanation of heading 2 is, consistency is one of the most underrated yet powerful forces in life. People often get caught up in the idea of quick fixes, rapid success, or overnight transformation. The truth, however, is that success doesn't happen in a single grand moment. It is the result of small, consistent actions taken day after day, regardless of the circumstance. If you want to see lasting change in your life, you must first understand the role of consistency and how discipline shapes your mindset to make it possible. The key to success lies not in sporadic bursts of intense effort, but in the steady, unwavering commitment to your goals. It's about doing the work even when it's tough, even when motivation wanes, and even when results don't appear immediately. It's about showing up every single day, whether you feel like it or not. This is the power of consistency, the ability to persist through challenges and stay committed to your vision, knowing that each small step adds up over time. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward, even when you face setbacks or obstacles. It's about pushing through the tough times, staying committed to your purpose, and understanding that success is a journey, not a destination. But here's the thing, rewiring your brain for success isn't an overnight process. It requires patience, persistence, and, most importantly, self-awareness. You'll need to pay attention to your thoughts and behaviors, and you'll need to make conscious decisions every day to choose discipline over distraction. This is where the power of routine comes in. Routines help you stay disciplined, even when your motivation wavers. When you build a routine that supports your goals, whether it's waking up early, exercising, or setting aside time to work on your projects, you're creating a structure that your brain can rely on. The beauty of discipline is that it compounds. The more you practice it, the more your brain adapts to it. At first, it might feel challenging. You might struggle with procrastination or find yourself giving in to distractions. But every time you choose discipline over instant gratification, you're strengthening your ability to stay focused and work toward your goals. Your brain begins to recognize that discipline leads to positive outcomes, and over time it becomes easier to stay on track. One of the biggest challenges people face when trying to develop discipline is the fear of failure. We often hold ourselves back because we're afraid we won't succeed, or we worry that we'll fall short of our expectations. But here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is simply feedback. Every time you fail, you're learning valuable lessons that will help you grow stronger. Discipline doesn't mean you won't face challenges or setbacks. It means you'll keep going despite them. It means you'll pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. As you rewire your brain for success, you'll also need to embrace the power of delayed gratification. In today's world, we're constantly surrounded by distractions, social media, entertainment, and endless opportunities to indulge in instant pleasures. But the disciplined mind understands that true success comes from making choices today that will pay off in the future. Whether it's putting in the extra hours at work, studying for that exam, or sticking to a healthy eating plan, discipline is about understanding that the rewards of your efforts will come later, and they'll be far more meaningful than any fleeting pleasure. Discipline also means taking responsibility for your actions. You can't blame anyone else for your lack of progress. You can't point fingers at circumstances or other people. True success comes when you own your choices, your habits, and your mindset. If you want to rewire your brain for success, you must be willing to make the hard decisions, to take ownership of your time, and to push through the moments when it feels like you're not making any progress. The beauty is that over time, the results will speak for themselves. You'll see the compound effect of your disciplined efforts, and you'll begin to reap the rewards of your hard work. So if you're ready to change your life, it starts with understanding that discipline is not just a habit, but a powerful tool for rewiring your brain. It's about making consistent choices that align with your long-term vision, embracing the discomfort that comes with growth, and trusting that the path you're on will lead to a life filled with purpose, achievement, and success. Discipline is the key to unlocking your potential. Another important aspect of training your brain is understanding the power of mindset. Discipline and focus are not just about actions, they are deeply connected to how you think. The way you think influences how you feel, and how you feel influences what you do. When you maintain a disciplined mindset, you approach challenges with a sense of purpose and determination. You don't allow negativity or doubt to derail your efforts. Focus allows you to keep your thoughts centered on the present moment, where your power lies. By training your brain to adopt a mindset of discipline and focus, you create an environment in which success becomes inevitable. When discipline and focus work together, they create a powerful synergy that propels you towards success. The first step in training your brain is to understand the link between discipline and focus. Your brain is constantly bombarded with information, stimuli, and distractions. In today's world, it's harder than ever to maintain focus with our phones, social media. But if you want to achieve anything of significance, you have to learn how to cut through the noise and train your brain to focus on what's important. Discipline is what enables you to turn off those distractions, to create space for focus, and to consistently direct your energy toward what matters most. Focus isn't something that comes naturally to most people. It's a skill that needs to be developed and strengthened over time. Think of it like a muscle. The more you practice focusing, the stronger your ability to concentrate becomes. Discipline helps you do this by establishing habits and routines that support your ability to stay focused. When you make the conscious decision to sit down and dedicate a specific amount of time to a task, that is discipline at work. Explanation of heading 3 is this: training your brain is one of the most important things you can do if you want to achieve success in life. Your mind is the engine that drives everything you do, and if you don't take control of it, it will control you. This is where discipline and focus come into play. These two powerful tools work hand in hand to help you stay on course, make better decisions, and keep moving toward your goals, no matter how challenging the journey may seem. The more you train your brain to align with your vision, the more capable you become of achieving extraordinary results. Discipline is the foundation of focus. Without discipline, focus is fleeting. It comes and goes. And without a consistent effort to bring it back, your attention is pulled in all directions. But when you bring discipline into the equation, you create a structure in your life that allows focus to flourish. Discipline is what keeps you consistent, in your actions. It's what allows you to set aside distractions and take the necessary steps each day to move closer to your goals. Focus, on the other hand, is the ability to direct your attention to what truly matters, blocking out the noise and staying engaged with the task at hand. And when you block out all distractions during that time and give your full attention to the task, that is focus. By training your brain to operate in this way, you create a powerful habit loop. Discipline triggers focus, and focus strengthens discipline. Over time, this loop becomes automatic, and you find that staying focused becomes easier and more natural. The connection between discipline and focus also comes from the ability to delay gratification. One of the most significant barriers to maintaining focus is the temptation to indulge in immediate pleasures. The desire to check your phone, watch a video, or take a break might feel overwhelming at times, but discipline allows you to push through those impulses and stay focused on the task at hand. When you train your brain to resist these temptations, you strengthen your focus and your ability to stay on track. Make great things happen. Focus is not just about keeping your mind sharp. It's about making conscious decisions to put your energy toward what will bring you the greatest long-term rewards. The more you train yourself to make those decisions, the better you become at directing your focus where it matters most. Training your brain also involves building resilience. Discipline helps you stay committed to the process even when it gets tough. Focus allows you to keep your mind from drifting into negative thoughts or distractions when obstacles arise. Together, these two qualities form the mental toughness required to face challenges head on. Life is full of obstacles. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when the task at hand seems too difficult, or when results aren't coming as quickly as you hoped. This is when discipline and focus are most critical. They remind you that success is not about avoiding challenges, but about navigating through them with persistence and clarity. When you train your brain to stay disciplined and focused, you develop the mental fortitude to keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're not making progress. As you train your brain, you'll also develop a greater sense of self-control. Self-control is the ability to resist short-term temptations and stay committed to long-term goals. Discipline gives you the tools to practice self-control, and focus allows you to remain vigilant when distractions arise. When you consistently choose to stay disciplined and focused, you develop a deep sense of confidence in your ability to achieve anything you set your mind to. Your brain begins to trust that you can maintain control, and this trust boosts your self-esteem and motivates you to take further action. Training your brain to stay disciplined and focused doesn't happen overnight. It's a continuous process that requires patience, practice, and consistency. But over time, the results will speak for themselves. You'll notice that your ability to focus improves, that you can stay on task for longer periods, and that your productivity increases. More importantly, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll become someone who approaches life with a sense of purpose, direction, and clarity. Your brain will be trained to focus on the things that matter most, and that focus will drive you toward the success you've always desired. The beauty of discipline as a habit is that it starts to shape your entire mindset. When you commit to disciplined actions every day, you begin to see yourself as a disciplined person. Your identity shifts from someone who struggles with willpower to someone who consistently takes action. You start to trust yourself and your ability to follow through on your commitments. And this self-trust is essential for achievement. Without trust in your own ability to follow through, it becomes difficult to make progress. But when discipline becomes ingrained in your behavior, your confidence soars and your belief in your ability to succeed grows stronger. Another powerful benefit of making discipline a habit is that it builds resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks. When discipline becomes a natural instinct, resistance loses its power and success becomes inevitable. It's not about battling against discomfort, it's about making discipline part of who you are. Keep showing up, embracing the process, and trust that consistency will pay off. As you overcome resistance, you'll unlock your true potential and step into a future defined by achievement, purpose, and unshakable confidence in yourself. The journey is worth every step. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, and doing the work regardless of external circumstances. Small, consistent actions are what program your brain for achievement. The power of small actions cannot be underestimated. Often people are overwhelmed by the idea of making significant changes or achieving large goals, and this feeling of being overwhelmed can lead to inaction. But when you break your goals down into manageable steps and commit to taking small actions every day, the process becomes more approachable. Discipline becomes a series of tiny decisions made day after day, and as these small decisions compound over time, they create momentum that propels you toward bigger achievements. Another important aspect of discipline as a habit is building routines. Routines are the framework that supports your disciplined actions. A routine takes the guesswork out of decision-making. When you have a well-established routine, your brain doesn't have to deliberate on what to do next. It already knows. This is why discipline must become a habit. It's through repetition and consistency that your brain begins to adopt the mindset and behaviors necessary for success. When you make discipline a habit, you are essentially programming your brain to act in a way that supports your long-term goals. Every time you choose discipline over convenience, you strengthen the neural pathways that align with your objectives. It's like laying down a road in your mind. Initially, the road is rough, difficult to navigate, and full of obstacles. But as you continue to travel that path, it becomes smoother, easier, and more natural. Over time, your brain starts to default to disciplined actions, even without conscious effort. Discipline becomes second nature, and achieving your goals becomes a part of your identity. The first step in making discipline a habit is to start small. You don't need to make drastic changes all at once. Start by choosing one area of your life where you can consistently apply discipline. It could be something as simple as waking up earlier, sticking to a workout routine, or dedicating time each day to read or study. The key is consistency. So if you want to achieve your goals, start by training your brain. Use discipline to create the habits and routines that foster focus, and use focus to keep your attention on the things that will move you forward. By building this mental muscle, you create the mindset and the momentum necessary to accomplish anything you set your mind to. Discipline and focus are not just tools. They are the keys to unlocking your full potential. Explanation of heading 4 is this. Discipline is not something you either have or don't have. It's a habit. It's a muscle that, like any other muscle, can be strengthened with consistent use. The key to success lies in making discipline a part of your everyday life, ingraining it into your routines, and ultimately programming your brain to work in alignment with your goals. Success doesn't come from a single moment of inspiration or from an intense burst of motivation. It comes from daily habits, consistent actions, and a mindset that prioritizes long-term growth over short-term satisfaction. This is where discipline, developed into a habit, becomes the cornerstone of your achievements. To truly understand discipline as a habit, we must first recognize that your brain is an incredibly powerful tool. However, like any tool, it must be properly trained and directed. The brain is constantly forming neural connections, making choices and reinforcing behaviors. The more you repeat an action or behavior, the stronger those neural connections become, making it easier to repeat that action in the future. Routines remove the need for motivation because they create structure. Motivation will come and go, but when discipline is embedded in your routine, you can keep moving forward even on the days when motivation feels low. The power of a good routine is it allows you to consistently make progress toward your goals, regardless of how you feel. Your brain thrives on consistency. It seeks patterns, it craves structure, and it finds comfort in repetition. This is why discipline, when practiced regularly, becomes easier with time. As you continue to act in alignment with your goals, your brain starts to recognize the value of those actions. Over time, the habits you've built around discipline become automatic. You no longer have to consciously remind yourself to act because your brain has already made the connection between your disciplined behavior and the rewards it brings. Your actions become a reflection of your goals and values, not a reaction to momentary desires or distractions.